Morning guys, how you doing? Well, today I'm back at it. We did some work on my kitchen yesterday. Oh, also had the wife come out here and butcher some of these trees with her little chainsaw. And ouch, I think I did put another is that on there? I gotta put another set of, bars on this door. So now both sides have them. But I put this mat here so I don't get any cement on the tile, dripping it back and forth. I cemented up. It's in place. These are just sitting here right now. The doors. This is all cemented up. I'm gonna use my level, of course, my laser to go ahead and line this out so I can drill the holes all the way around here and cut the rebar. So, but this morning, what I'll probably do is I'm gonna cut the wood. Looks like it's gonna make the wood form for the whole counter and get ready. I do have a template for the stove part of it because the stove is inset. They give you a template with the box. Easy enough to do that. The sink, I'll just turn it upside down and make my own template on that. I'm gonna put the stove on this side and the sink over there. But yeah, looks like it would be all right. I think I have just enough wood. This one sheet of form plywood available. It's actually going to be almost the length of that by a couple inches minus maybe, and I'll probably have to fill in this part here or something. But anyway, let me go get my tripod. Oh yeah, let's set the camera up for those of you who still think I don't do any of this by myself. Anyway, all right, man. Let me get back at you. I'll get back on it. Yeah, I should be able to. I mean, my hands, I can barely close my hands, man. Ever since the slab work on the decks and this, I just haven't been able to recover. But yeah, I gotta keep it going. Gonna have to cut some big old piece of wood, use maybe my 2x6s or something like that to give further support underneath there. I did take out, I don't know if you might show it earlier in this video, but I had cemented a bottom piece in here to raise the door, but I think it was too high. I just wasn't comfortable with it, so I wound up knocking all that out, cleaned it up. But when it was all done and poured, I'll go ahead and put the door in there and then shim it up from the bottom so it's snug on the top. I'll probably be about half as tall as it was with that big old piece of cement in there. So, and I could have rendered all this beforehand, but I figured, I'm gonna wait till I'm done with all of it because it's not too difficult. There's big enough openings. I should be able to just go ahead and render this inside and out, no problem. without having to worry too much about it. And then I'll do that the whole, I won't have to, hopefully I won't have to render the top. Probably not, because I'm gonna, obviously I'll put the tile on top and on the outside. But yeah, it's taking shape, man. Looking good. I just need to be able to get, more scraps. This is all my scraps. Luckily, I didn't need to buy more plywood, more form wood. But I got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pieces of this. This is the wood that was used as braces underneath all them slabs. Turns out I can use those underneath the form for support. But I'm probably gonna need wider support, I think, because cement is heavy, and I don't want the tabletop bowing, right? And so I'll probably use some of this. I really hate to cut this. This is my sock. This is a really good teak wood, but I might have to use some of that to give it better support in the middle, and that'll work out. My cat's over here doing his thing. What are you doing, man? Digging, trying to stir up some worms probably, or something. Not worms, maybe snakes, mice. Then actually this is the area, if you saw in that previous video. Dude, is that just your giant cat box now? Well, at least you're not doing it in my cement sand. But yeah, so tractor all leveled this all out, brought it all up from the other side, and it still needs to settle and pack down a little bit, I think, before we plant. But we decided that I'm gonna put poles. I want them getting I think 10 poles, maybe 5 on this side, 5 on this side, and I'm gonna make a covered canopy for just a garden canopy. I already have all the green stuff green netting I used. If you go way back when we first put that lawn in, I covered that whole lawn in a green umbrella, basically, to protect the seed, or protect the grass so it can grow good, because it's really hot. And that worked out. But so I got bags of that, rolls of that. I put some of it on that back one, but anyway, I'll put that up here. Then this whole front section here will be packed down, and we use that. I can use that for additional parking. Some of the trucks we get in here are kind of big, and they've been backing up down here, which is fine, making this turn. But I always worry about somebody making a turn and hitting that guide wire on the pole. That's why I put that yellow PVC around there to kind of warning, so you can see it out your window. But anyway, yeah, we put a trench in here basically between the rice and what will now be the garden park. We'll call that a garden park. And those are some big old pieces, man. They're like size of half a trash can or something. Camera probably doesn't do it justice, but this will be it's kind of like a buffer zone for all the water that's going to come in here when the water fills in from the street canals to prepare the field for planting. I don't want the rice water to come up over here. That'd be a bummer. I don't think it'll get that high, but you're still going to have heavy rain runoff. It's going to come down here, so we'll really have to see how it goes. I'm not sure how quick we're going to plant stuff. I think you really have to wait for the rainy season to see if it's going to come, if there's going to be too much water here. Do I need to trench here and make another canal so it comes around here or whatever? I don't know. But I know when it rains, this will start to pack too. But it's all good. It's all good. Gonna make it happen. Next month, I think we're gonna have to get in there and take some of these fish out of there. Definitely take fish out of the other pond. Water levels continue to drop during the dry parts. And if it drops low enough, you just, you don't want everything dying there, so you better just go ahead to fill that up. or for fish, you know, it'll get tight in there. So we'll go ahead and collect all the fish out of there. Looks like the lotus flowers are blooming. Last couple of days. Yesterday I did also there was a big hole up in here, gap. I was gonna fill it with cement, but I filled it with foam. I'm gonna cut that flat, of course, and then I'm gonna cement over the top a little bit. But it was a big old hole, so I'm not gonna worry about that anymore. I'll worry about anything living in there. Anyway, so my task today is to well, somebody retired now, bro. Is to finish that kitchen, or finish pouring the kitchen, I suppose, after I get it all formed up and then pour it. Well, finished that one. I think, hope it turns out all right. I did have a little bit of a, oh, I gotta sit down here for a minute. Oh yeah. I did have to redo this, because remember, this is the cutout, right? So what I first did was I took the frame, I built the frame around here. Then I realized that you have the thickness of the frame. And the thickness of the frame, whilst the inset stove would have set in there okay, it would have left not that much room on the outside. Like normally it's probably about that much, but because I took that, what's that, almost half inch on that wood, it would have reduced it to about that much of a lip hanging over. And that didn't feel right. So I, knocked it apart, redid it so that, this basically is the same size as this. I forgot about, accounting for the thickness of the wood, because that's going to come out, right, in the mold. But when I did this one, I made sure I did it for the sink. The sink's even more narrow, but I think it'll be all right. I might have done it right this time. We got this all in place. I'm going to use a bar to wedge that end in there, and this edge over here. I can't really nail it into the brick. I mean, I could, but I think it's easier. I just put a piece of wood between here and the wall, just wedge it in. This is not a real big counter, so I think it's going to be all right. Got the rebar all in there. It's all tied in together here, tied here, tied here. 2 of them down the middle, 2 of them up in the front, and 3 going that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 going that way. Yeah, man, all looks pretty good. But that took me all day, man. Took me all day because I didn't have that wood for the forms. I was scrapping everything, but I couldn't do that. I had to go global, and I had to get, not only did I have to get that slat board, but I had to get the small nails that go with it. I didn't have any more small nails. All I had was the 16 pennies, those are big ones. Screws I had were just splitting the other little wood I had. Either way, I didn't have enough wood. I didn't want to cut up the sock or my sock, the teak. I didn't want to cut up teak planks and put them in there. That's just a waste of wood. Even though I'm going to use the wood again in there for some, but probably for form work. But anyway, I say I'm going to call it a day. We're done. Next stop tomorrow. Go ahead and mix that cement and pour it in the morning. And then that's it. I'll let it sit. I'll go tool around, do something tomorrow. maybe clean up actually, and then we'll get back at tiling that thing next day. That's what I gotta do. Tomorrow I'll go after I pour the cement, let that start setting. I'll get over to the tile store to get my slip coat for the outside and my or my grout, you know, not grout. Well, yeah, tile grout too, but the pick the tile and the tile adhesive and all that. Get everything ready. But I'm gonna let it sit all day tomorrow. I'll probably tile the day after tomorrow. All right, man. Well, thanks for watching. Keep watching. We'll get back at you.